That's good stuff. Good afternoon. No, it's not afternoon anyway. Yes, it is, and it will be afternoon on the East Coast.
Depending on where you're at.
This is Larry.
Okay.
To the point.
Opinionated Larry. With Cornelius. With Ron.
With Ron.
We're about to start the show.
Always.
Start the
represent
show.
I gotta represent my favorite school, TSU.
TSU, go Big Blue. Go Big Blue.
They doing
is
great.
the Democrat Party your GPS? We got a pause.
That's Kurt Carr Friends, wrapping up this mighty good day here on 760 AM The Gospel. Coming up next, To the Point Radio Show. Hot topics on deck. You don't want to miss that, all right? Make sure you continue to follow me on all social media at Lady Shantae. And if the Lord says the same, I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. God bless.
All right, back to our conversation. Larry is asking the question.
Is the Democrat Party your GPS? Do they tell you where to go, what to vote, how to vote, who to vote for?
Let me ask you this, Brother Larry.
Who's on show?
Rush Limbaugh has
advanced.
Yes. Some of the things that he said has damaged the African American community. Some of the comments that he's made. Where do we what does he fall with this award that he's been given, knowing that he has damaged?
I'm oblivious, so you have to get me up to speed on.
He's talking about
freedom.
No, I know about the Medal of Freedom, and I do follow Rush Limbaugh. I know who he is, and I'm a big fan.
You a big fan of Rush?
Huge, gigantic.
You a big fan of Rush Limbaugh?
A huge fan of Rush Limbaugh.
You what?
Huge fan of and conservative views and the conservative position.
Even when he talks about most of the people who commit crimes look like Jesse Jackson.
I haven't heard that statement.
Oh my God!
I'm not saying he hasn't said it. But I'm sorry, but we can let's stay on that. Most of the crime committed in the black community against black people are committed against other black people.
If it's in a black community, then it's black people.
Okay, what's the argument here? I missed the argument,
I just asked the question. I hadn't given you pushback.
Don't commit most of the crimes in the country.
And Rush Limbaugh said they did.
What?
Yeah. Wow. Hey, we need to pull up the Bureau statistics, criminal statistics, so we can be on point. We don't want to misinform the listening audience.
What's that?
No, we don't want to do that. That's one thing we don't want to do.
But are you angry with Rush Limbaugh for what he has said about black people, about the black community, about the black and brown community?
Is it possible that the wool is over the people's eyes?
There is a strong possibility.
Is it a possibility that the wool could be
There's
over
a
the
very,
people's
very
eyes?
strong possibility.
Is it possible that Donald Trump has had a raw deal and people are prejudging?
Donald Trump has not gotten a raw deal.
Donald Trump hasn't got a raw deal.
America has gotten a raw deal.
The wool is over
by whom?
What's up with this internet?
America's got a raw deal.
Coming up.
It's like we'll be arguing. What?
Good morning, Nashville. This is the To the Point Show. I'm Ron.
I'm Larry.
Oh, okay.
I can't. They ain't got the headphones on.
Good morning, Nashville. I'm Larry.
I'm Ron.
And I am Cornelius.
And this is To the Point Show. We get to the point of your hot button topics, issues, and controversial people.
People. Happy birthday, Music City, Tennessee.
How was your weekend? Did you survive? You survived. We survived.
Did you make it?
Over the weekend, I was not actually here, but I'm back. So, but yesterday we had a marvelous and amazing time at church. So I'm grateful.
All right, this is the To the Point Show where we get to the point on important issues in our nation, in our local community, and in the world. First thing I have here, brother, is coming out of Nashville, Tennessee. It says zip code
The
37208. I mean, we constantly keep hearing about this 37208, and the rate of incarceration has one of the rates of incarcerations in the country. Where are we now? Are we?
We are a rock's throw. We're a rock's throw.
Okay.
If I may use that terminology, a rock's throw. A stone cast from the 37208. As a matter of fact, I actually came up in that community, and it seems the community has changed quite a bit.
Are they getting a bad rap in 37208? Are others bringing in the crime? What's going on, Larry?
Cornelius,
may I speak on that? For a few.
Yes, you can. But I'm gonna add this to the pot now.
You're gonna add it to the pot. Let's do this.
I'm gonna stir it up.
Let's do this. Let's use this illustration. The grease is hot. Let's throw some fish in there.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Let's cook.
In the 37208.
In the 37208 zip code, where I currently serve as a servant leader and pastor. I've taught in the zip code. There are some things that do not give individuals advantages in the 37208.
Can you tell us the number one thing?
Number one, it's a food desert. And I'm going there because what we eat has a lot to do with how we think. Secondly, not only is it a food desert, there is no commerce. It's not Green Hills. It's not Cool Springs. Where are the jobs that people make the $600,000-$700,000? Where are they in that zip code? So the zip code does not afford us with the economics that other zip codes have. And then guess what? Larry left. That's what made it bad. When Larry left, it just threw everything off. Now look, now push back on that, Larry.
Call in.
Larry, we're gonna keep going. I think we touched the spot on Cornelius.
Call in.
Give us a point, Larry, and let's keep moving.
Call in if you got a comment on this topic. 615-7208. 615-242-7760. The incarceration rate and the crime rate in the 37208.
How do we lower the numbers?
The first thing, and what Cornelius overlooked in the 37208, and probably in multiple zip codes in this community, parenting. Do we have sound parenting? Is the home intact?
Is the home
intact? Do we have two-parent households, or is that a thing of the past? Is the two-parent household in this
for 37208?
Right. Well, but nationwide, nationwide African American community, we said we're below 70%. We're higher than 70% single parent households.
I tell you what, it says here that hit the streets. Larry will be hitting the streets. 37208, the byways and the highways.
With the
microphone
in hand.
We might be seeing Larry on the streets. We're going to be doing some interviews.
With the microphone in hand. Microphone in hand. We are in the African American community. The single parent household is in the upwards
decreasing.
It's high in the. No, it's not decreasing.
I mean, it's
increasing.
Right.
70% in the African American. So if you want to know about incarceration,
it's
tied directly. I know we want jobs and we want good groceries and grocery stores. We want industry.
Right, industry.
But we gotta have a household. If we don't have a household, we don't have a family, we don't have anything.
Starts in the home.
Starts in the home.
Come back to that.
Would you agree?
How you have a home, you lock it up for minor, petty.
We need to get her a microphone.
She can have.
Here we go.
Don't give it to her.
Did y'all know this? The Senate voted Wednesday afternoon to acquit President Trump on both articles of impeachment against him. The chamber first-handedly voted down the article alleging abuse of power, 52-48. Mitt Romney was the only one of the 53 Republicans in the chamber to buck party lines and vote to convict on the first article.
Okay, all right. So we've got the impeachment of an innocent president behind us. Clearly because he was acquitted, but we still have the Democrat Party, the radical. I'm sorry, not the people who vote Democrat, not the citizens.
Okay.
But the radical Democrat Party, these career politicians, whom I think we need to get rid of a large portion of them.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot stand And I really don't want to even tolerate a career politician.
So he has been acquitted. Are people still saying he's guilty after he's been acquitted?
I've been hearing a lot of that nonsense. I'm sorry, but this was a party line vote for the impeachment. This was only a Democrat led by the Congress to pull a sham on the American people, Cornelius. In my humble opinion. In your humble opinion.
Is it possible the wool could be over the people's eyes? And
it's a very strong.
President number 45, Donald Trump, is not as they.
He just got there last week. So we're gonna blame every problem we ever had on a guy that just got there. And we've had.
Hold on, Larry.
He got there last week.
All right.
Everybody call in. First of all, call in. What's our call-in number?
We are at
615-242-7760. Call in. You can listen online at 760thegospel.com, or you can listen on Amazon Alexa. Just say play 760 AM Nashville, Tennessee. Somebody said that Trump, even the economy, has been riding off what Obama did.
Yes.
In place.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay then. Well, I mean, we can say anything, but the proof is in the pudding.
Can I say this? Can I push?
Can
I push? Let me push. Barry Switzer, right? But wins.
Not the first year, the second year.
But whose team did he have? Did he have Jimmy Johnson's team, did he have his team?
That's right.
So when I see anything good right now come out of DC, it's the Obama team that set it up for this team. Do you agree, Larry, or do you disagree that Obama was a good man and a good president, and our current president is riding? Some of the momentum he has is because of the infrastructure of Obama.
The worst president we ever
had. Oh my God.
Was Barack Hussein Obama.
Y'all hear that?
If you just
y'all hear that?
Walk out into your community. We got a call. Go ahead, caller.
Got a caller.
I didn't hear the comment, and nor have I. Can I rebut the comment? No, ma'am. But caller, but a great call, caller. But if you're making it, I didn't know if you're making a statement or you're asking me a question. What's the question? Go ahead, caller. No, give me the question, please. No,
she's referring to Donald Trump.
No, she's referring to Rush Limbaugh. And thank you, caller, for great call, caller. Great call. Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. I'm sorry.
What's the question? Help me with the question.
The question the caller had was, could you, if you're not sure that a person made a comment like Rush Limbaugh might have made a controversial comment or some comment about Black women or women in general or the Black community, how can I support him? If I don't know he made a comment, but I do know that the positive comments he has made and the positive contributions he has made, I'm going to support him. Until I know that he's made a comment, a negative comment that is controversial to me, then I'm going to support him. His good to me it exceeds the bad, the so-called bad that I'm hearing in the rumor mill. Is so tremendous.
And we're going to come back. We're going
to come back. We're going to come back to that.
Cash today, and that vehicle hauled away. All of Middle Tennessee.
Today's show?
Cash today, and that vehicle hauled away.
Who was that?
To the point.
Today's show
To the Point
is
show.
Brought to you by.
Get that vehicle hauled away. Greater Middle Tennessee, 615-480-6473. 615-480-6473. The Iowa Caucus.
What is it open? Do we have wait a minute? Do we have the results?
Yes.
Finally.
Are they worth looking at though?
Wait a minute, hold on. I just want to know what happened. They said the Hillary people, a bunch of Hillary's people, Obama's people, Hillary's people. People, somebody's people, some of the Democrats got together and said they don't like the way the thing was running. So they're going to go in and fix what wasn't really broke, Ron.
Here we go. Revised Iowa caucus count. Took days to acquire. Sanders campaign challenging Buttigieg's win, saying Buttigieg, but the caucus says the count now saying Buttigieg was in the lead, then Sanders, then Warren, then Biden.
What? So okay, so I'm sorry. Does anybody know who won the? Can somebody please call in and tell me who won the Iowa caucuses? Because this is I'm concerned.
Saying. That's what I'm saying.
Your concern is what?
I'm concerned is there?
Are you going to vote for anyone who comes out of the Iowa caucus as a leader?
Let me. Good question.
That's a great question.
That's great.
I want to know.
I'm concerned for the people who voted in the caucuses, not the people who are running. We know the people who run. They don't have a chance. They have no chance to defeat this president in a great economic boom in
due
peace
to Obama.
and peace.
Due to the Obama.
What you say?
I'm just saying.
I mean, there's no evidence in peace and prosperity. Peace and prosperity
was down at its lowest point when Obama
and when he left. When Obama left, we had the lowest employment participation level in the history of the nation. The lowest employment participation rate in the nation. Never been lower. Never. And Obama said we couldn't do anything about it. He said we can't kill ISIS. We can't kill ISIS.
Did we kill them?
Trump has made them. They're fertilizer now. ISIS is fertilizer over in Iraq and Iran and what's other?
And many are still mourning the death of Kobe Bryant and others in the helicopter crash that happened about a week ago. And all over the country, people are mourning and supporting the legacy of Kobe.
I want to comment on that, Ron, because I was very, very insensitive to a lot of people's mournings and concerns concerning Kobe Bryant. And mind you, I was very sensitive to his death, as the loss that his family experienced, his daughter. Very sensitive to that. But as far as when I saw that the mass outpouring of it was to me it was almost unbelievable. But again, I was never.
Hold on. He's not our Jordan.
He's not
our Jordan. I had to understand that, and that not to take away anything from what happened.
Yes.
Right.
But it's a certain group that I've been talking to, kind of my age group.
Yes.
And but it's other guys that were under us that they grew up with him.
Yes.
Kobe was the image. Yes. And he was the image.
And I was hearing so much, and I was unbelievable. I was like, and then you see, I was seeing the billboards run. I was like, what the heck is going on? Well, who? And I knew who Kobe was. I knew who he was.
Of course, we know who he is.
But he wasn't my hero. You remember Magic Johnson? When we were coming up, Magic Johnson, Showtime,
Larry Bird,
Worthy,
right?
It was unbelievable. So I can.
But help me. Let's back up for a second. You said you were insensitive. Explain to me, Larry, your insensitivity. What were you insensitive about? Tell me about your insensitivity.
That people they were trying to make Kobe. It could have been anything.
Right.
It could have been any situation. And again, since I wasn't a big fan, I was not a fan at all, honestly. But
the Lakers or Kobe?
Both. But anyway, that being said, but people in general.
Okay.
I was like, are these people trying to deify? Are they trying to?
I have a question.
Go ahead. Are they trying to deify Kobe? Go ahead. Yes, sir.
We heard many interviews, and like you said, there was an outpouring of mourning for Kobe Bryant. And when you heard many people talk, they just said he was such a great guy, this, that, and the other. But you get some that say, well, he wasn't perfect, but he was a great guy. And you kind of heard that.
Yes.
Then you got Gayle King with the interview. I don't know if y'all guys heard about that.
Yes.
And she mentioned something that at a time of tragedy like this, it's like, you just don't do that, people are saying.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of backlash from like Snoop Dogg and many others. What you got to say on that?
I didn't see the Gayle King interview. Did you see it?
Of course.
Okay.
And because of the culture in which we live in, it's going to continue to be played.
Okay.
Gayle King was doing what Gayle King does.
Okay.
It's her job.
What does she do?
She's a journalist. I am not taking up for her.
Okay.
Let me say that on the front end. Okay. Let me make sure y'all hear me loud and clear.
Yeah. Make sure.
Gayle King was doing what Gayle King was supposed to do, and that's her job. Right. Kind of like Donald Trump does. Gayle King's job is to be a journalist. As a journalist, there are certain criteria that goes with journalism. She's got to ask those questions. Do I personally believe those questions should have been asked at that time? No. No, because now,
Indiscrepancy.
because now with the Me Too movement, with Weinstein, with Cosby, with R. Kelly,
yes,
with all our icons, especially from our culture, who've been caught up in some type of scandal, to throw Kobe's name in that mix at that time was totally untimely. And Gayle King says through Oprah, she's receiving death threats.
Okay.
Like, this is a major thing, Larry. I mean, if something was to happen to one of us, and would you want somebody to interview you, talk about, well, this is what Cornelius did, this is what Ron did? It was just unacceptable to me. But she was doing her job.
Right.
And that's why, as a journalist, and I'm pitching it to you, in journalism, there's some things that you have to do. I still think the people who's in post-production and pre-production, they did that.
Ron,
She's not in control of that.
What did she say?
Well, she brought.
Something had to do with an indiscrepancy years ago.
With Kobe.
Acquitted.
You remember when Kobe was with that girl in Colorado? You tripping, Larry, like you forgotten.
No.
Don't forget. No, and the young lady.
No, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Now, this is a family-friendly program, so we really can't.
And a Trump-friendly program.
And a very but mind you, I'm not here to judge Kobe.
No,
I'm here to lend my sensitivity to his fans and family.
Right. At this time.
Somebody said that was wrong. He is not even in the ground yet.
Wow.
But see, that's the thing, Larry. What she asked was truly a relevant question based upon where we are in culture. The timing of the question, I just have to disagree with, simply because the man is dead. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of agree with you.
Because of what has happened. But Gayle King was doing her job. She's a journalist. She gets paid to ask questions. She gets paid to ask the hard questions. She would ask you probably some crazy questions.
Call in 615-242-7760. Was Gayle King being, what they say in the street now, was she being messy? Hello.
Was she being messy?
Gayle King, was Gayle being a little messy?
We'll come back around that one. Here we go. This is what Larry might enjoy coming off the Drudge Report. It says, ex-Satanist claims he went to hell and converted now to Christianity.
Amen to Christianity and down with the Satanists. Hey, but hey, hold on. Yeah. I called you Saturday or Sunday night, Ron.
Okay.
And I asked you a serious question. Cornelius blocked my phone calls.
But
he knows what I want to ask him. Did you guys watch the State of the Union address? Did you?
The one where the paper was torn up?
Did paper got torn up at the stadium?
I'm just saying.
Paper got torn up at the stadium? Paper got, did that happen? No, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I asked you something. I've never
Auntie
watched.
Nancy, was she on the stage?
I've never watched a complete
State of the Union address.
Ron, did you go back and watch it, Ron?
Yes.
Cornelius, you watched State of the Union address?
I left Bible study. I rushed home, and I have been watching it in segments because I want to really challenge you with some of the rhetoric that was brought forth with this State of the Union address from 45.
Okay. Sister Shantae, did you watch the State of the Union address?
Absolutely
in its
not.
entirety? Oh, wow.
Absolutely not.
If you didn't, okay, hold on, Ron. The best. Hold on. I'm gonna top you, Ron. I'm gonna top you, Cornelius. This wasn't the best State of the Union. This was the best TV show I may have ever seen. Live TV show I've ever seen, other than maybe a Super Bowl or something. This was unbelievable.
Then I like what you said, and I'm gonna stay in that context.
Come on.
It was a great TV show.
Yes, it was.
That it was, because we have a very divided house with those individuals who were to the left, to the right, behind the president, and we had to watch these actors get in character and indulge in such revelry to me.
Okay. But in your opinion, Ron, Ron, chime in here, Ron. Who was doing the acting, really?
Here you go, Larry.
See, she told her. If that ain't a Nene Leakes move, I don't know what it is.
She should be locked up.
Why? Why should she be locked up?
That's destroying an official government document.
Was that abuse of power?
That was
Ron, was that abuse of power? Was that abuse of power?
Right to remain silent.
Was that abuse of power? Because she told the paper.
If you didn't watch the State of the Union address, and you guys know I'm a make America great guy.
Okay.
Keep America great guy. Hold on, but I'm doing my part. But if you watch that doggone State of the Union address, it was unbelievable. Man, I was look every time I was up in front of you, got knocked back. I was like, they just did that.
Like the Final Four, huh?
Like he preached the
I couldn't believe it.
Larry was ready to come to the altar.
Larry accepted.
Man, it was unbelievable.
Make America great again.
It was unbelievable. If you didn't watch that now, I'm serious.
Oh no, I'm watching it from several angles because I know we're gonna flesh this thing out. You and I and Ron, we're gonna take some talking points from that, and we need to flesh it out. I believe our president, and he's ours because he's our president. I believe it was a show. I believe he did what he did, and I believe when he came out of it, and came to the White House, remember, and had his talk and talked about the ugly people, and even at the prayer breakfast. Remember the prayer breakfast the next day, the prayer breakfast the same day.
Yes,
the prayer breakfast. Trump, he was just on one. Like he was on one.
He should have been.
He was on one.
He had been falsely accused since 17 minutes after he was sworn in.
Okay.
17 minutes.
Nashville Motors.
Today's show.
3 Dickinson Pike. Nashville Motors. $500 down payment, and they also rent cars.
Rent car, cash rental.
Yeah,
your big vans, church vans.
And you usually couldn't get your
big gatherings. Yeah.
Nashville Motors. 4023 Dickinson Pike, Nashville, Tennessee. 615-262-9367. Nashville Motors, home of the $500 down payment.
Ron, China death toll rises.
Right, it's rising.
I know you guys probably didn't know this.
Okay.
A news announcement just went out. There was some type of gas in the air over there, and I didn't write it down, but this is in connection when you're burning organic material.
Okay.
Did you hear this? Yes.
Okay.
A massive amount, and this wasn't at a landfill.
Okay, slow down. Help me understand what you just said.
Okay.
Because I'm following, but
you can type in there.
I'm following you.
They may be burning.
Maybe.
There's a strong possibility
that in China, it's not carbon monoxide, but it's something.
It's something else.
Something in the air. A gas has been given off that is poisonous.
Satellite picked it up.
Beijing begins mass arrests of suspected virus patients. More quarantine centers set up at U.S. military bases. Hundreds of businesses seek. This is another story. Billions of loans.
Okay, what happened now is are the country of China, are their facilities set up? Because they said if you have the coronavirus and you may be diabetic and a long time smoker, there's a high probability you may die from this disease.
Okay.
Now I think the people. I'm saying 14 Americans have tested positive. At least 12 U.S. cases domestically. 60 new cases on the cruise ship are quarantined. But now, mind you, we don't know if their facilities are adequate enough to deal with, or I can say because this is like a respiratory. This is a respiratory disease, right? You follow me? So basically, we don't know if their facilities in certain places are able to deal with this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
See here, we're set up. You got a hospital, within a few miles in most cases. You follow me?
Yeah.
And set up, to help people with respiratory ailments. So this is a serious matter.
We'll see as this plays out.
And this is a police state. This is for the most part. See, you don't see China on TV or Chinese movies. You follow? You don't see that.
Correct.
So we don't really know. So a lot of stuff that's happening over there, we don't really know.
Here's what someone said: It should be a requirement to know all state capitals before becoming president.
Oh, they throwing a jab at our president.
I mean, they got it. Do what you do. Bring it on. Tell them bring it on. That's all you got. Come on now. What he said, Kansas. He graduated.
Well, Kansas City's technically in both states.
Kansas and that is Kansas. There's a Kansas
And
in both
Missouri.
states.
It's in both states.
You're
I
right.
mean, it's on the line.
It's an honest mistake. I've done it 100 times. You know, let's get over it.
All right, the Democratic Party, we know the caucus, our caucus, now they're moving to New Hampshire. I'm going to give a spotlight on Mayor Pete. Mayor Pete Buttigieg, if that's how you pronounce his last name. His husband is Chastain.
I'm sorry, what you say?
What? Oh.
Ron, can you repeat that?
He that have a wife.
I didn't think that I would be saying
he that have
husband.
No, Ron, we're gonna stay.
All right.
We're gonna have this conversation. But he that have wife, she marry him and he marry her.
Now hold on.
I'm just saying.
Hold on now.
What you saying, Larry?
Hold on.
That leads me into the Ask Larry question of the day.
Let's ask Larry
His
question of the day.
definition of marriage
Is what?
and where does he get his definition of marriage from?
My definition.
Ask Larry.
I'm gonna go biblical on y'all.
Hold on. You finna go scripture.
I'm going biblical on y'all.
Let's go biblical, Larry.
And I'm sorry now. It's gonna step on some toes here. Ladies, don't get offended. This is not an offended. And if you have a comment, please call in 615-242-7760. Ron, in the Bible, as I recall, was Jacob Abraham's son, right?
Yes.
All right.
Abraham, Isaac,
Jacob.
and then Jacob.
Yeah.
Abraham.
Come on, Larry. Preach.
Jacob and Esau was brothers.
Okay.
Preach, Larry.
Okay.
Preach.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Jacob went down over into another land and married one of
Rachel,
Laban.
Leah, and
Leah and Rachel.
Yeah.
Was it not
Leah
one more?
first,
Uh-huh.
and then Rachel.
So he had 2 wives. Am I correct?
True.
Culturally, yes.
Culturally, okay.
Yeah.
Culturally acceptable at the time.
True.
Go ahead, call. We have a call.
He loved Rachel. He worked for her. He got tricked because he was a trickster, and that shows
The dad.
what you sow, it will reap.
Father-in-law was a trickster. Go ahead, call.
Jacob was a trickster as well.
Thank you for your call. Thank you for your call, caller. Thank you for your call. The caller says she thinks that the president is an investment because he may not know all 50 states and capitals, and we understand. He's doing a fantastic job.
He has Google.
He has Google. He has all the good stuff and great advisors around him. And it was an honest mistake, and we can't hold the president to be.
May I say something?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Let's go back to how we began this broadcast.
Okay, yes,
about the 37208 zip code.
Yes.
You talked about family.
Yes. And this
is in reference to that.
Okay.
Think about family.
Family.
You talked about family.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about family.
Yes.
For us, family is Leave It to Beaver.
Leave it to people.
Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Yes,
Cosby.
So
can we say?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
Bill
I can
Cosby.
say that.
I'm sorry, Cliff Huxtable.
Cliff
Huxtable and
Yeah.
Claire.
Claire.
Cliff
Yeah.
and Claire Huxtable. The
James Evans, if we want to go project.
No.
Why?
I'm not. They weren't really moving up. They said they were moving up, but I didn't.
No, that's the jump side.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but, but they moved.
Good
They
time.
moved.
Good time.
Good time. But look, you talked about family there, and we have to have this conversation. Even when we have done something and legislated something that's totally immoral,
Totally immoral.
it still affects family.
Okay.
Family is going to be affected if it's not done the way nature and the God of nature intended family to be. So when you start talking about him and him, it's still against the grain.
Is it a slight perversion of
slight? No, ain't no slight nothing.
What? Well, I mean,
what's a slight?
Well, no. I mean, hold on. What happens is that the philosophy of marriage is sound. The perversion is if we want to marry women and women, men and men, man and dog, woman and cat.
Right.
That's a perversion. So the philosophy is sound.
The philosophy
is sound
for many years.
And yes, for centuries,
eons.
Are you saying God was right or the Bible was right? Or is that one and the same?
I would say nature's right. Can I say that? You can't procreate. I'm sorry. Now, if you can procreate, they got some stuff they got going on now where you can put one. But I'm saying
not asexual.
Yeah. But that being said, again, and not to knock anyone's preference, we're not here to do that. We're going to be honest and speak truth. That's your position.
The definition of marriage.
Yes, it's between man and a woman.
One man and one woman. Or would you want to be like Jacob?
Well, in certain situations and cultures, you have to except the cultural divide. Is Islam, and they have the Islamic faith and the Hindu faith, and they have two wives. Wait a minute, you can't let's not box these people.
But let me say this, Ron.
Okay.
And like you said, we're not bashing.
No.
This is not a show to bash.
Yes.
That's conversation.
You have to live and deal with the choices and those consequences that come with those choices.
Yes.
Whether in this life or the next. So we're not even going down that road right now.
Right. Okay, but hold on.
But when we start putting a man before us that has another man in this role, this has never been done in the country.
Okay.
From Washington to even 45.
Okay.
Let's look at 45 presidential inaugurations where it's been him and a her. America is just not ready for a him and a him.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think a single man would be okay to be president if that was the case? Do you think there should be a requirement to have a helpmeet, what we would call it in the Christianity community?
I don't think so, but I'm not gonna be the one to step out there. I'm sorry, I disagree with Pete Buttigieg on policy. I don't care about his life. I don't really care about his life. It's not. I'm sorry, I don't judge someone's lifestyle, mind you. So I disagree with on policy, and so.
What's his policy?
Here's his policy, right?
He's liberal. He's big government.
Support for public health insurance, labor claims, universal background checks for gun purchases, protecting the environment by addressing climate change, a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, and abolition of the United States Electoral College.
Okay, hold on. Is that all we got? Hold on. Let me see. May I please? May I? Also, free health care. Illegal immigrant, right? Huh? It's not.
Undocumented immigrant.
Free health care. I'm sorry. When most citizens, retired citizens, have to pay for health care. Most of our citizens have to pay for health care, struggling to pay for it, and we got these liberals who say we're gonna give it freely to people who are here illegally. I'm sorry. Hold on. No border. They don't want a border.
Here in local news, Bloomberg having a rally in Nashville Wednesday, 7 p.m. at Rocketown. And some people are talking about the rise of Bloomberg. I have here that as President Trump's campaign seeks black voters, Bloomberg also is rising with black voters.
Bloomberg is rising with black voters. Bloomberg will buy your vote now. He'll send you a little something. He'll send you a check now. He can say Bloomberg is worth. I write it almost $60 billion. I think maybe it's either maybe the 10th richest guy in the world. Am I understanding that correctly? But I'm sorry, but money can't buy my vote. Money cannot, Cornelius. Money cannot buy my vote. I will not be bought and sold. I have principles.
That's almost like slavery, isn't it?
Almost.
That's borderline slavery.
Almost.
When we talk about buying and selling.
Okay. Well,
we're not going down there, but let's talk about this guy for a minute.
Bloomberg.
Let's talk about him.
Bloomberg said you can't have a 16-ounce big gulp of Coca-Cola. You can't have a 16-ounce. You have about 10. You can't. He's gonna tell you how much Coke you can have if you can eat a hamburger. If you can eat a burger, or you can have vegan burger, veggie burger.
Here it is. There are signs of black support for Mike Bloomberg in 2020. Could be a mirror image of the decision. The post has nonetheless pulled the lever for him, despite a mayoralty defined by the billionaire's luxury product vision of the city. The sanctions, stopping frisk, dragnet, policing men of color, the evaporation of affordable housing, and explosion of the numbers of homeless people, and an exodus of working class
New Yorkers.
So
he wasn't a great mayor. New York. Okay. He was the mayor of New York for I think 3 terms.